All right, today we're going to talk about some simple ways to boost collagen in your body. So the first thing we need to talk about is, what is collagen? Collagen's a protein that actually provides structure inside our body. All right, and proteins are made out of amino acids, and amino acids are actually individual chemicals that are strung together like a pearl necklace and then twisted and braided together into a helix. All right, you've heard about the double helix. Well, there's an alpha helix, and then there's different ways of actually twisting amino acids. And basically, it's like a submarine staircase, the kind that you would actually walk around when you go up. When you twist amino acids around that, that's actually how you create collagen. That's what it looks like. Now, most people think about collagen for better skin and to actually improve your joints. And it's true. Collagen is in your skin, and it is critical for how your skin appears and how it feels. And collagen is very important for your joints. If you don't have good collagen in your joints, you're going to be creaky, and essentially your joints are going to hurt. But here's the thing a lot of people don't realize, which is that collagen is critical for every single tissue in your body. Your joints, your bones, your tendons, ligaments that connect muscles to your bone, collagen's in your blood vessels, and of course, collagen's in your skin. Let's talk a little bit about how collagen's made in the body, because once you understand how collagen's made and what it's made out of, then the foods that can actually, and the ways to actually grow collagen will actually start to make more sense. So basically, there's special cells in our body that actually are designed to make collagen. These cells are called fibroblasts. Fibro, like fibrous tissue, and blast, cells. And in fact, fibroblasts can make up to 28 different types of human collagen. There might actually be more, but we haven't discovered them yet. So let's call it 28 types of human collagen. And when you have collagen that's missing or weak, remember I told you it's a structural protein. So it provides structure. When you actually have a weakness, that would be like if a timber holding up a house is not very strong. Guess what? The tissue will start to sag. All right, just like the roof will start to sag if you actually don't have really strong support beams. And so when collagen's weak, tissues start to sag. When collagen's missing, when you're missing your collagen, tissue will actually really sag and start to lose their function. And this is actually what we see in aging skin. When you get wrinkles, wrinkles are just basically smooth skin where you're actually starting to have areas that are sagging and some areas that are actually not structurally supported. So they actually kind of fold in on each other. It's like a blanket that you just kind of throw onto a bed. You'll get folds. That's wrinkled skin. Smooth skin with collagen is like taking a couple of sheets and your blanket and pulling them tight when you make your bed, right? Have a perfectly smooth bed. That's actually when collagen is properly in there. Now you actually throw the covers aside and they pile up, and that is actually like skin where the collagen is weak or not functioning properly, loses this function, and you get sagging, wrinkly skin. Now, collagen does change as we age, and this is one of the reasons why people are interested in collagen as sort of kind of a counter maneuver, let's say, to aging. The idea is that maybe the collagen isn't working as well. Can I get more collagen on my body? Can I repair my collagen? So if you take a look at cosmetic products, there are actually a lot of them that claim to actually have collagen. Now, I'll tell you, another organ that the collagen is important in, not just the skin, is in your eye. Now, here's how your eye works. You got a perfectly formed organ that's like a ball, and light passes in through the cornea, which is the crystal clear front of the eye, like the face of a watch, and it passes through your pupil, which is the hole in the eye, the black hole, all right? Then it's got to pass through the lens. Now, the lens in your eye is like the lens of a camera. It helps to focus the light. And that lens is kind of like this. It's kind of shaped like this, all right? And the light passes through one side, it gets focused and passes on the other side, and it's made out of collagen, all right? And there is a capsule around the lens that's really made out of collagen. And the changes in the collagen can occur with aging. And when you actually have changes in the collagen and changes in the protein in the lens, that actually is what causes cataracts. And cataracts can blur your vision. It changes when the lens isn't crystal clear because the structure changes, the light won't pass through, it's not clear anymore. And now you actually have blurriness and you can't focus your eyes. So the lens is made out of proteins, and these proteins are completely aligned so that light can pass right through them, crystal clear. Aging affects the collagen in the capsule that holds the lens. Now you're not holding the lens properly, it's shifting around, and then the collagen itself can actually start clouding, and now you also can't see. So this is actually an example where you can actually replace the lens, and that's a kind of a cataract surgery. Works very well, but you're losing. It's really a collagen issue that can contribute to the need for cataract surgery. But there's also other problems in collagen in the body as well. So abnormal collagen can cause problems anywhere it's actually occurring. And in fact, there's a whole series of diseases called connective tissue disorders, all right? And one of the great examples is a condition you may not have heard about before, but I bet somebody you know might actually have it. It's called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And this is actually a genetic condition, all right? And in this genetic condition, there's a mutation that keeps your body from creating normal collagen. So you've got the collagen, but it's not quite normal. And in fact, one of the things that is not quite normal is that basically there's some distinct physical features of people with this connective tissue or collagen condition, and their joints are also really, really weird. So one of the things is that they have super flexible joints. These are people that can bend their joints all the way back. I can't do it. They're really bendy, all right? Anybody who's super bendy, you gotta wonder if they actually have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome or some other connective tissue disease, super flexibility. They also have super stretchy skin. You can actually stretch your skin out, and that's not normal, obviously. Normal skin has enough tensile strength, so you can't just stretch it out. And the other thing is that when the collagen is abnormal, the skin is kind of thin as well as being flexible, all right? Like a sheet that's kind of flexible. And you can actually see the blood vessels. Now, there's blood vessels everywhere under our skin. Normally, you can't see them because your epidermis, you get dermis, it's a kind of a thick layer, and then the blood vessel is running through it and underneath it. But in connective tissue disease, the skin isn't perfectly formed. The collagen in the skin isn't normal. And in fact, even the collagen around the blood vessels aren't normal either. The blood vessels can actually be very, very fragile. And it doesn't hold the shape of the circulation. And in fact, this can actually be a huge problem because some people with collagen diseases in their large blood vessels, like the aorta, they actually are at risk for having a rip that can happen inside the wall of the blood vessel, and that can cause an aneurysm, all right? And that aneurysm can actually be very, very dangerous. It can be life-threatening. So, good collagen function, absolutely critical for health. Defective collagen function, you start seeing problems in different parts of the area. It's not just a cosmetic thing, not just a joint pain thing, but it can actually cause a problem for every place in your body. Now, it is true. Collagen is very important for healthy joints. The collagen provides a cushion. And what happens over time is with osteoarthritis, is wear and tear arthritis, is that basically your joints kind of wear down the buffer, all right, the cushion between two bones, and that collagen wears down, the joint wears down, and that actually causes bone on bone grinding, and that actually is very, very painful. And so you wind up having osteoarthritis. It's not a autoimmune arthritis, but it's actually a wear and tear arthritis, and that's also a problem of collagen wearing down. Now, there are, as I mentioned, diseases, conditions that are autoimmune, where your body's own immune system basically targets your collagen and just kind of chews it up and destroys it. Great example of that is rheumatoid arthritis. Now, I talked just now about osteoarthritis. That's wear and tear as we get older. It's like brake linings, in a car that is driven really aggressively. Over time, the brake pad wears down. That's osteoarthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is really where there's an autoimmune disease where your own immune system learns to attack your own joints. It shouldn't do that, but when it does that, your immune system chews up the joints and new blood vessels grow right into the joints. Those new blood vessels plus the inflammation causes leakiness of the blood vessels, and now the joints fill with fluid, so you got swelling, and the inflammation causes pain. And this is actually what you see in rheumatoid arthritis, swollen, painful joints caused by an autoimmune condition. And again, this is where the collagen is actually broken down, all right? And the enzymes are chewing up and digesting the collagen, destroying the joint's function. Lots of inflammation, lots of pain. It limits joint function, limits movement, and it can happen in your fingers, in your wrists, in your elbows, in your shoulders, in your hips, in your knees, in your ankles. A real limitation when an autoimmune condition actually affects your collagen, your joint collagen. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the skin, because I started by talking about how collagen in the skin causes wrinkles if it's not functioning properly. But there's a lot of things that can actually damage collagen structure in the skin besides just simply getting older. It is true, aging of the skin causes changes in your collagen, but so can ultraviolet radiation. If you basically are somebody who gets tanned a lot or got sunburned a lot or are out in the sun all the time, the ultraviolet rays from sunshine can also damage the collagen, all right? So that's actually something you should be careful of. Smoking cigarettes or vaping also damages the collagen in your skin. Also not good to do. Drinking alcohol over a long period of time can also affect the texture of your skin. There's changes in your collagen from long-standing heavy alcohol use as well. So let's talk about ways that you can actually maintain collagen in your body, maintain collagen health in your body. And there are actually foods that have been found to help your collagen. So let's first talk about foods that are anti-inflammatory, because inflammation can damage joints. Osteoarthritis, inflammation, rheumatoid arthritis, autoimmune disease, lots of inflammation. So the first thing you can do to actually protect your joints is actually to lower inflammation. The best way to lower inflammation, to protect your joints, is actually to treat your gut microbiome well. That's the healthy bacteria, the 39 trillion bacteria in your gut. And if you eat prebiotic foods, that's foods with polyphenols, colorful foods, plant-based foods, you're actually feeding your gut bacteria. And then if you give them dietary fiber, which is also found in plants, plant-based foods like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, but also some soft foods. I mean, peaches, avocados, mushrooms, they all have dietary fiber that feed the gut microbiome. The gut microbiome will actually release these short-chain fatty acids. This is a kind of a metabolite of bacteria. Okay, they produce their own products that help to lower inflammation. I call that, our bacteria have to live inside our colon, live inside our gut. They got to pay room and board, right? So the room we're giving them is in our gut, and the board we're feeding them, and so they got to pay the rent. So when we actually are eating foods that feed our human cells, anything we're not digesting tumbles down and feeds our gut bacteria. When we feed them, they pay us back, they pay the rent, and they release these short chain fatty acids. And those actually help to lower inflammation. They can actually help to protect joints by actually lowering inflammation in the joints. So one of the things to do to actually improve the quality of collagen is to slow down the destruction of the collagen in your joint by having anti-inflammatory foods. Now, there's been really for a couple of decades this idea that if you eat foods with collagen, it can actually help your collagen. And I can tell you, in the very beginning, when I heard about this, eat foods with collagen and it'll actually build your collagen, I thought it was ridiculous. All right. I'm a medical doctor. I'm a scientist. I know if you actually eat collagen, your stomach acid it's a protein, right? So your stomach acid is going to digest it and that's it. It's gone. There's no some magic formula that actually moves collagen that you chew and swallow into your joints. No way. But I will tell you, I started to change my mind when I was looking at the data and when I was actually understanding the new biology of collagen. So here's what happens. Collagen are these, I told you, these twisted helix of protein, amino acids. Now, when you digest collagen, you break it up, you chew it up, enzymes chew it up into fragments. And it turns out the biology of collagen is that the fragments are very, very active. Collagen fragments are very active signaling molecules. So they actually help one cell to give instructions to one cell to tell another cell to do things. All right. And that actually turns out to be one of the mechanisms of how collagen is built, because certain collagen fragments can activate fibroblasts, these are the cells that make more collagen, to be able to make more collagen. That's a good thing, right? And we also know that the fragments can do all kinds of other things in addition to stimulate more collagen, but you can actually modify blood vessels. So collagen fragments include tumstatin, canstatin, endostatin. These are actually natural substances that came out of the work in my field called angiogenesis, and they actually have been shown to cut off the blood supply to tumors by being anti-angiogenic. So collagen fragments are very, very biologically active. And in fact, some of these collagen fragments inhibit angiogenesis. So they prevent those new blood vessels that would grow into inflammatory joints and that destroy the joints. Remember I told you arthritis, right? Rheumatoid arthritis, you got swelling, you got inflammation, you got new blood vessels that deliver more enzymes. Collagen fragments actually can slow that process down, impede that process. And so before we're talking about foods that grow collagen, I want to talk about foods that or steps that can actually just slow down the destruction of collagen, lower inflammation, inhibit angiogenesis. This all protects joints from the degradation, from being destroyed by the enzymes that abnormal new blood vessels can actually grow. All right, so now let's talk about foods that actually contain collagen, that when you eat them, get digested into collagen fragments that can then go into your body, go run around your body and do good things for your fibroblasts, including making more collagen. So the first food I want to talk about, bone broth. All right. Bone broth is made by literally cooking down, boiling, simmering bones. All right. And bones that are connected together are connected by joints. And there's a lot of collagen in bones and joints. And it could be chicken bones or chicken carcasses or turkey after you roast a turkey, or beef bones, or it could be pork bones or lamb bones. So, if you were a chef and you were offered some bone broth to be able to use to make your sauce, to make your soup, to make your stew, that's really a delicious resource. It's a very, very rich, protein-rich broth. But if you want to have bone broth, basically from a biology perspective, this is the kind of collagen-containing foods that when you eat it and drink it, it actually gets digested up, and those collagen whole collagen pieces get chewed up into little fragments that run into your bloodstream, and they can actually do all kinds of things, including help your body make more collagen. Now, I'll tell you how I've done bone broth, and I am an omnivore. I eat everything. I eat mostly a plant-based meal, but when there's a chicken roasted, or after Thanksgiving, there's a turkey carcass or a chicken carcass, what I do after cutting off all the meat, I take what's left, the carcass, and I put it into a big stock pot, big soup pot, like a heavy soup pot. You put the carcass in there, you fill it up with some water, and if you wanted to, throw some onions, carrots, little garlic, that kind of a thing, right in there, and then you bring it to a boil, bubble, 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 then turn it down on really low heat. So now it's boiled, and now it just kind of cools down, it's kind of simmering. Put a cap on it, and you can let that slowly simmer at low heat overnight. All right, and by the morning, you've actually kind of cooked into the broth all that collagen, all that rich protein, and of course, it's got the flavoring of any veggies, carrots, onions, etc. you might have put in there as well. Then, when you actually pull the bones out, okay, there might be some pieces of joint. Just pull that all out. Take all the boiled down veggies. They're not going to be really that great. Most of the nutrients are actually in the broth. Take them all up, and you've got a clear, mostly clear broth. And that broth is highly nutritious. It's got a lot of protein in it. It's got a lot of collagen in it. And from that broth, that bone broth, you can begin making it into a stew. You can make it into a soup. You can actually add veggies into it, et cetera, et cetera. But you've got this broth. Now, you can actually freeze it. So one little trick is that, you might want to use some of it right away, but you probably are going to be able to make more bone broth than you can use in an immediate setting. So if you've got ice cube trays, go ahead and pour the broth into ice cube trays, put it in the freezer, and then you've got bone broth ice cubes. If you do that over a period of time, you can actually have a big bag of bone broth ice cubes. Just keep that frozen, and you actually have bone broth whenever you actually need it. Now, you can buy commercial bone broth for sure, all right? And there's some really good types of bone broths. I'm not promoting any specific brand, but here's what I'm actually telling you to do. If you're going to go to buy a commercial bone broth in the soup section or the broth section, it comes in a box usually. Pick it up and look at the ingredient label and just make sure that you're comfortable with everything that's in that commercial broth. Made in a factory, make sure you're comfortable there isn't any artificial chemicals in there or weird preservatives you don't want to put in your body because you can make the broth yourself. All right. Now, actually, you can, like I said, you can use bone broth to make a soup, a stew. You can add lentils to it. Now you get a lentil stew. You can add beans to it. Now you get this bean stew. It's a great, tasty way, very traditional, and it can actually create really nice, hearty foods. And if you're, kind of like somebody who wants to be a little fancier, you want to make a sauce. You make a roux with flour and butter. And I'm not telling you to use a lot of saturated fat, but I'm just telling you if you wanted to make a sauce, and then in your roux, you actually add some of the bone broth and you keep on whisking it, you'll actually create this really, really rich, protein-rich, collagen-rich sauce, and you can flavor it in different ways that you want. So bone broth, first food that can actually help you grow collagen. Number 2, skate wing. You guys know what a skate is? A skate's a ray, not a manta ray. That's a big ray, but it's a kind of a stingray. Let's think without the stinger, but there are all these edible rays that you can actually eat out there. And they look like kites. They're flat. They swim like this. They've got a little tail. If you've gone to an aquarium, you've seen rays. They're the ones that look like they're flying through the water with wings. And those wings, each of those wings, it's not a real wing. It's just really kind of a part of the body that flaps and helps it swim. Those skate wings are packed with collagen. They don't actually have bones. Skates don't have bones. They belong to the shark family. They're called elasmobranchs. And elasmobranchs are non-bony fish. They're cartilaginous fish. So the whole skeleton is made out of collagen, all right, cartilage. And skate wings have a ton of collagen. And they're delicious, all right? So cartilage in the skate wing is edible. When you cook it, it kind of dissolves right in your mouth when it's actually really, really nicely done. And when you eat skate, not only do you get collagen and collagen fragments, but guess what? Skates also have healthy omega-3 fatty acids. And omega-3 fatty acids are also healthy for your joints. And they support tissues made out of collagen, like your skin as well. So that's a food that actually has a lot of ways to actually support skin health, joint health, bone health, collagen. All right. Now, omega-3s also lower inflammation. Remember, I told you one of the most important first steps you can do is actually prevent your joints from being destroyed, or your collagen being destroyed in your skin and your joints, etc., and lowering inflammation that is present in most of our bodies is actually an important way to protect the collagen that we actually do have. Now, I'll tell you, if you haven't cooked a skate wing, it's pretty easy. You can just look on Google and look up skate wing recipe video and have somebody show you how to do it. But basically, if you have a cast iron pan and you have a skate wing, you can just put the skate wing clean it up, like rinse it, put in a little bit of flour, has a little bit of white pepper, a little salt in it, and then get some extra virgin olive oil in a cast iron pan really hot, and then just put the skate wing down to start cooking it with that, cook it on both sides, add a little bit of capers, add a little bit of onion, add a little bit of lemon, and now you actually got this really nice skate wing Mediterranean style dish. All right, that's a good way to actually eat skate wing. Of course, you can also go find it on a restaurant menu if they are serving seafood. Skate isn't present in every menu, but when a chef can get it in a seafood restaurant, you'll often find it, and chefs also like to cook it as well. All right, that's the second food. Third food, fish stock. All right, so think about it. Fish is full of bones. It's full of, there's a lot of collagen in fish bone. When people are cleaning fish and cutting off the fillet of meat, what's happening to the bones? They get tossed out. You can actually ask your fishmonger, the person working in the fish market, if they've got extra bones, you can use to boil down into a fish stock. All right. Same thing like using a chicken carcass or turkey carcass or beef bones. You can take fish bones and literally same deal. heavy stock pot, fill it with some water, put the fish bones in there, boil it, and then just let it simmer down. Do it overnight, and you'll actually wind up getting a nice protein-rich broth that tastes of seafood, and it's actually got collagen and collagen fragments in it as well. Now you can always buy pre-made fish stock, but one of the things you want to do, again, if it's anything pre-made in a factory, check the ingredient label. Like a lot of smaller places will batch make fish stock, and you can buy it frozen. And that's maybe all there is. It's just like basically real fish stock that's just frozen up and sold. Super convenient, so you don't have to boil it down yourself. I use that kind of fish stock frequently, so I don't have time to make fish stock. But you know what? Just check to make sure the ingredient label, you're comfortable with everything that's in it that you're going to put in your body. All right. And check it out. If you've never asked for fish bones, go to the grocery store, to the fish section next time, and ask somebody helping you back there, hey, do you have any fish bones or fish carcasses that I could actually have? And I bet they'll actually have them. And there are places, they're called, seafood markets or stores that specialize in seafood, and they for sure can actually get you fish carcasses to be able to cook into fish stock. And they'll probably also have fish stock that's fresh or frozen fish stock. Makes it super, super convenient. All right. So that's the next food. Next food I want to talk about for collagen, to get collagen and collagen fragments, is, wait for it, gelatin. Remember when you were a kid? I mean, we all were kids, and we served Jello. We were served Jello, at school for the dessert, or maybe at our grandmother's house, and the Jello was always red or green or orange, and they were colors that actually don't really appear in nature. And not surprisingly, the Jello companies that were making this added artificial coloring that really lit up the colors. As kids, we love that. And it tastes like cherry, artificial flavoring, tastes like lime, artificial flavoring, tastes like orange, artificial flavoring. And it's sweet. It's added sugar, right? So that's stuff that we grew up with, not good for us. However, it was made with gelatin, all right? So what you can do as adults that want to be healthy and you want to get collagen and collagen fragments is just get non-flavored plain gelatin. It's clear, all right? It's clean, it's clear. You add boiling water to it. It'll start to dissolve because it's proteins. You stir it up. If you put it into the refrigerator, it'll turn into Jello. It just won't be nuclear colored, and it won't be actually artificially flavored, okay? No additives in there. And what I suggest, if you want to use that approach and be creative with it, you can actually take plain gelatin and you can actually add your own flavoring to it. So take some ripe, fresh, seasonal fruit and cut it up and add it into the gelatin, right? So you're boiling gelatin, getting it hot, stirring it up, letting it cool a little bit, all right? Because you don't want to cook the fruit. Let it cool before it solidifies, and just add the fruit into it. Pop it into the fridge, and in the refrigerator overnight, it'll actually turn into the kind of Jello with the wiggly stuff that you remember when you were a kid, but now the fruit pieces will be in there. That is a great natural way to be able to actually sweeten your Jello. If you go to Asia, you'll see that there are special dishes where they take coconut milk, lychee fruit, and cut it up, and they make gelatin out of it. They add almond extract to give it some really nice flavor. Just make sure it's natural almond extract, like true almond extract, not something with artificial flavoring, not artificially flavored almond extract. That's a great way to actually make your own Jello.
Hey there, just a quick note. I have another free resource I want to share with you. It's my favorite on-the-go summer ingredients. Now, for a lot of us, summertime is all about relaxing and getting some pleasure. So whether you're simply venturing into your backyard or traveling across the country or even beyond, here are some practical ways to help you stay on track when it comes to using food as medicine. I put together a list of foods that you can find in the aisles of your local market and even in gas stations along the highway and in small towns. This road trip and camping friendly list of foods is available right now for free in the caption below. Now, let's get back to the video.
So, gelatin is actually made with collagen. It's basically just made from animal collagen that's boiled down. They turn into a powder, and that's your gelatin. So you can actually, if you didn't know that, now you know it. And it's super easy to find good, healthy ways to make Jello. I would recommend that you check it out. And by the way, if you're interested in knowing how to make any of the things I talked about, from skate wing to gelatin to fish stock to bone broth, just type it up on Google, recipe, and hit video and check it out. Somebody who really knows what they're doing and is very passionate about what they're doing will show you on a video how they do it. And that's a super easy way to learn. All right. Don't be intimidated. Take advantage of the internet to be able to learn. Now, the next food I want to talk about are egg whites. So when you crack an egg and don't have any shells left over, you'll see the yolk there, and then you'll see egg whites. Egg yolks are actually good for your eyesight. They contain lutein, zeaxanthin. I made a separate video about this. But guess what? The egg whites are good for helping your body build collagen, because egg whites have an amino acid called proline. And proline is an amino acid that helps your body build collagen. So egg whites actually give you kind of like the ammunition that you need, or the bricks to help make the brick wall. And the proline can actually help you make collagen. Now, another food that you might want to consider having are foods containing vitamin C. C is in Charlie, because your body needs vitamin C in order to make collagen. Collagen is made by the body, and vitamin C, ascorbic acid, helps to make it. So how do you get vitamin C? What are vitamin C rich foods? Well, citrus fruits are rich in vitamin C, oranges, grapefruits. But there are also other foods that you might not know have vitamin C that are good sources of vitamin C, like strawberries, for example, or tomatoes, good source of vitamin C, or red bell peppers, or broccoli. Now, most people are surprised that broccoli is a good source of vitamin C, but it is. And you can, of course, take a vitamin C supplement. It's hard to overdose in vitamin C. Your body just pees out anything that's extra, but you do need vitamin C. So eating foods that contain vitamin C helps your body build its own collagen. All right. And then we've got beans. This is the last food I'm going to talk about. Beans. White beans, black beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, garbanzo beans, and the whole range of legumes, lentils, chickpeas. Why? Because beans are a great source of amino acids, and your body needs amino acids, those little pieces, the little tiny chemicals that make up proteins, in order to make that helix, that structural part, weave it out to be able to make collagen that provides structure into your body. Now, think about this, right? You've got beans, the source of amino acids to make collagen. Now you're going to cook your beans in bone broth, all right? And now you're actually getting the collagen from the bone broth. You're getting the beans that have the amino acids. You're really making a very, very nice, rich bean stew that's really good for collagen, all right? So that's a good thing for you to know. Cook your beans in bone broth. Now, of course, you can always get collagen by taking collagen supplements. And again, there was a time when I was a real skeptic about collagen supplements. I generally have been skeptical about supplements, although I have to say over the years, I've seen the data, I've seen the evidence, and I actually take some supplements myself. But what's the real evidence that collagen supplementation works? Well, you got to look at the data. And one of the pieces of the data that I thought was really interesting was a clinical study by the University of Kiel in Germany that looked at 69 women. They were aged 35 to 55, so really kind of, adults, adult women. And they gave half of them a collagen supplement to take every day for 8 weeks, all right? So that's 8 weeks, 2 months worth. Every day they gave a collagen supplement. And the other half, they just gave a placebo. So this is a clinical trial that had a placebo in it, which is part of good clinical trial design. And just after 4 weeks, all right, they gave the study lasted 8 weeks, but just after 4 weeks, after taking this oral collagen supplement, the researchers found that the skin elasticity, all right, the ability for the skin to have some stretch to it in a normal way actually improved. All right, if you look at somebody who's really old and wrinkled with paper thin skin and you touch it, there's not a lot of elasticity. Think about a baby skin or a kid's skin, right? Like a child's skin. You pinch it, boom, pops right back, like my skin, all right? But so you want good elasticity, but older people, and when you've got problems with your collagen, you pinch it, it stretches, and it kind of doesn't go back very quickly. Notice that especially in older women. And that's exactly what this clinical study showed, is that just after 4 weeks of having a daily collagen supplement, they saw, especially in the older women, that their skin elasticity improved. That's a sign that the collagen structure in their skin actually improved. Now, there was another clinical trial that looked at a supplement that was made with chicken collagen. Remember, I told you a great way to make a bone broth is with chicken bones, all right, a chicken carcass after roasting a chicken. So this is a supplement made from that chicken collagen. And what they did in this clinical trial, they looked at 26 healthy women who had wrinkles. So they are looking at wrinkly, healthy females, all right, women. They had photoaging, and that's basically, photoaging just means sun damage to the skin with wrinkles. And they gave them a daily collagen supplement for 12 weeks. All right, that's 3 months, daily supplement collagen. And what they found at the end of 12 weeks, at the end of 3 months of daily collagen supplement made from chicken collagen, they showed there was less wrinkling. All right, they showed that there was better circulation in the skin. Remember, I told you there's collagen in blood vessels, so you want to grow healthier blood vessels. Structurally healthier blood vessels, you need collagen. So there was less wrinkling, there was better circulation, and it gave the skin of the women a rosy glow. All right, then that's considered healthy skin, right? And then they actually showed that there was more collagen itself in the dermis when they actually looked at the deep layer of the skin about 6 weeks after taking the supplement. Remember, I told you this experiment, the clinical study ran 12 weeks. Halfway through, they looked at the dermis. They, looked at the inside the skin, and there was more collagen right there. So this is the clinical study that really gave a proof of concept. Now, the study was done by a company that made the collagen supplement, and there wasn't a placebo. And so this kind of research, as a scientist, and it's critical about looking at research, there's a bias because a company funded and did that research. I would say more research needs to be done, but it's pretty impressive to actually see changes in elasticity, changes in circulation, more collagen in the dermis, and they made a good case that their collagen supplement made with chicken, collagen actually works. Now, as a scientist, I call this hypothesis generating. What that means is that, wow, I think this could work. This small study kind of was a proof of concept that there's a positive signal. And now it's time to do more clinical trials, more clinical work, more human studies to replicate and to demonstrate and get better, bigger numbers to see how well this is borne out. And I always say, don't have a company do it. Somebody else out there in a university should check it out. You got to be a third kind of an arm's length group to the company itself, and then check it out to see if it works. Now, I just talked about supplements, but I always encourage, as a general rule, if you're going to get your nutrients, get them from whole foods that you prepare in traditional ways, right? Save supplements to top things off. That's what supplement means, topping off. Get it from the whole foods, prepare the foods in ways that are delicious and tasty, keep them varied. You want to eat a lot of different types of foods, a lot of type of different dishes. Keep yourself interested. And then if you feel like you need more collagen, take a supplement because it works and you can top it off. Okay, I hope you learned something new about collagen by watching this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Dr. Lee out.
Hi there. If you enjoyed watching this video, I know you'll love the next one. Stay here and check it out, and I'll see you there.